Euro 2024 might seem like ages away, but the qualifiers start today with Kazakhstan facing off against Slovenia. Yes, I have excellent foresight and always do things with plenty of time to spare. This video will predict who finishes first and second in their respective qualifying group and thus qualifies directly to the final tournament. About a year from now or so, I will make a video where I predict who qualifies via the playoffs, but that's not until in a while. If you have any questions regarding exactly how the qualification process works, I suggest you look it up on your own, as I cannot do a better job of explaining it than any other video or article already in existence can. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's start with Group A, which is a really competitive group. Spain are favorites to win it, but they're a really frustrating team to watch because it always feels like they have another gear they can enter, but they just choose to not do it. But that said, Spain will probably win the group. That's my official prediction at least. But don't take it for granted. If they play as underwhelming as they have done on previous occasions, they might even miss out on the top two. Because Scotland are pretty good. They're really rising throughout these recent years. Norway too, even though they, in my opinion, haven't been as good as they should have been given their player material. Because I really think they should have qualified for Euro 2020 and the most recent World Cup. But surely that curse, for lack of a better word, must end soon. And I think that this is the tournament where it will happen. So I think Norway will finish in second. But it's really close between all four teams, I'm willing to say, because Georgia has obviously been the most staggering out of any of these teams, at least the top four. So Georgia, I would be really surprised if Georgia doesn't win a single match against the other three best teams, because they're really good. But my official prediction is Spain first, Norway in second, but it is really a coin toss between Scotland and Norway, even though Georgia are in the discussion too. Cyprus will finish in last, but as the football pharaoh calls them, they can be a bit of a banana peel, so maybe they'll get a point or even an upset win. Group B is really competitive, and not just because of the top two, Netherlands and France, but Republic of Ireland and Greece have, not so long ago, they were complete trash, but they have improved a decent amount in... was that a voice crack? No, of course not. But they have taken pretty good strides forward in a relatively short amount of time. Greece, I don't remember who's their new coach. It's I think the Dutchman is still in charge, right? He's pretty good. I remember when Sweden faced off at home against Greece in the European qualifiers, Greece could have really had a 3-0 lead at us at halftime, but somehow we won that match 2-0. But it's a highly misleading score, in my opinion. The point is that Greece are not 6 free points anymore, nor are the Republic of Ireland. That said, the Netherlands or France will finish in first and second. The question is just in what order. I'm going to go Netherlands first, France second, because France are a team that tends to do just what it takes to advance. And since finishing in second is enough to qualify directly, they won't really care about winning the group, even if it grants them a better seeding. But yeah, France, I actually expect France to drop points in at least one or maybe even two of the matches against Ireland and Greece, which I think will cost them dearly, and they might lose to the Netherlands. But that's because France are a tournament team, not a qualification team. So I think France are better than the Netherlands, but I still think the Netherlands will finish in first. Group C is another really tough group with Italy and England and Ukraine, North Macedonia, Malta, who will probably finish in last, but similarly to Cyprus, they can be a bit of a banana peel sometimes. North Macedonia, they did sensationally beat Italy, but if that match was played 10 times, Italy would win most of them, even though North Macedonia won deservedly on the day. First and second place will probably be occupied by Italy and England though, even though Ukraine are not a bad side. And England were really bad in the Nations League, but they bounced back at the World Cup, even though they were eliminated in the quarterfinals. They lost against France, which is acceptable, so I don't want to hold that against them too much. And I mean, Italy didn't even qualify for the World Cup. I'm thinking England will finish in first. They're usually good in qualifiers, whereas Italy in the most recent qualifiers, they drop points in matches they shouldn't have been beating, and I would actually be really surprised if they don't drop points against Ukraine or North Macedonia or England, of course. So I think England will just have a higher point tally and they'll finish in first. Yeah, if Italy drops too many points, I think there is a real chance of Ukraine sneaking through past ahead of them. But I think Italy will narrowly beat Ukraine to second place. You also have to remember that Ukraine will not play their home matches in Ukraine because of Russia's invasion, which surely has to be pretty demoralizing. But maybe they can fight through it. I think Italy will finish in second, though. Group D. The most obvious thing is Croatia winning it, in my opinion. So that's my first prediction. They are simply the best out of the 5 teams. Second place is much trickier, though. I think Wales are way too reliant on Gareth Bale. They're not a one-man team, but they're when it comes to getting goals, they're simply too reliant on Gareth Bale. And now that he has retired, I don't know how they're gonna cope. I think it's gonna take at least one additional qualifying campaign, probably more. Well, probably maybe more before they get the hang of it again. So I don't see Wales finishing second. But then, if not Wales, then who? Armenia, maybe? They can be tricky in Yerevan, but I don't see it happening. In Latvia are frankly awful. If I recall correctly, they couldn't even be promoted from their Nations League D group, which leaves Turkey as the only other option. I mean, Turkey were also pretty bad in the Nations League, but they were still at least promoted from League C. And I think they were experimenting with tactics a lot, and Turkey in general are a very weird side. Whenever you think they're going to do good, they do poorly, and whenever you think they're going to do poorly, they do good. So I think Turkey are going to do good now and manage to finish in second behind Croatia. Group E. I don't think Poland are finished yet. So I'm just gonna stick to my guns and say that Poland will finish in first. The second place race is between Czech Republic and Albania. Albania have a real chance, don't get me wrong, but I think the Czech Republic will clinch it. But yeah, don't underestimate Albania either. They did finish narrowly third in the World Cup qualifying group, ahead of Hungary, so they're by no means a bad team. But I think the Czech Republic are just a bit more consistent and with slightly better players. Group F, oh boy, yeah. So I have full disclosure, I am from Sweden, so I might be a bit biased here, but yeah, we've been terrible in the Nations League. We're relegated to League C. That's what the hell. And we're really bad towards the second half of the World Cup qualifiers, which is what the half that really matters the most, unfortunately. Belgium finished? I don't think so. At least not in terms of, I don't think they're going to start missing out on major tournaments yet. They still have good players. And they did appoint a new manager, Tedesco. I don't know if he's any good. I think he's, has he been at Leipzig? I'm not entirely sure, but he's a new manager, which is what matters the most. Martinez is gone, somehow got the Portugal job. Don't ask me how he did that. Maybe he has dirt on some Portuguese higher-ups at the Portuguese FA. No, I'm joking. Don't sue me for slander, please. Belgium, I think Belgium will finish in first. Austria are pretty good, though. They got a really good start in the Nations League with Rangnick's first competitive match for them. 3-0 at Croatia. Then they fell off a bit and were ultimately relegated by a pretty narrow margin. So I think they're a pretty good side you have to watch out for. Because Rangnick, I'm pretty sure he knows his best team for Austria by now. Yeah, I'm going to go Belgium first, Austria second, even though it would absolutely suck if Sweden missed out a major tournament right next door. And I don't even think, I think we're far from, actually, I even think it's unlikely that we get a playoff spot because we were so bad in the Nations League. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, either my prediction is right or Sweden qualifies. Win-win situation. Group G, without thinking too much, I'm going to say Serbia first, Hungary second. You can make the case that Hungary are better. They were definitely better in the Nations League, even though they played in different divisions. So you're not comparing apples to apples here. But Hungary have shown a tendency to perform worse in the qualifiers than in the Nations League. And contrastingly, Serbia are usually pretty good in the qualifiers. Well, they're either really good or really bad. That's usually how it is. But they have a lot of experience winning qualifying groups, and I think they will do it here, with Hungary comfortably in second, however. Montenegro, Bulgaria, I mean, they can improve, obviously. But, well, Montenegro, to their credit, were really good to not be relegated from the Nations League group. They beat Romania home and away, if I recall correctly, but I don't think they have enough. All right, Group H. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is one of the weaker qualifying groups. But Denmark are undoubtedly the best team in it, even though they were pretty poor at the World Cup. Really disappointing. But they're comfortably the best in the group, and they will win it. Second place, it's not going to be San Marino. Northern Ireland, no, they're not what they used to be, what they were between 2014-15 to past the 2018 World Cup. That team is gone. Kazakhstan have improved a lot. Really good to win promotion to League B. The fight for second place will probably be between Finland and Slovenia. Benjamin Sesko is obviously good. Oblak is still around, but I think Finland are not done just yet. It's gonna be close. It could just as easily be Slovenia, but I am gonna go with Finland in second. All right, Group I, we have I think Switzerland will win it. No, I don't think that's a controversial opinion. They are straight up the best team in the group, so Switzerland will win it. So that leaves the fight for second place wide open. Will it be Israel or Romania, or Kosovo are in the mix too, to be fair. But I think Romania and Israel are slightly more consistent. It would be so weird if Israel qualify because they're not in Europe. Yeah, I'm still a bit on the fence about this, but I am going to go with Romania because I feel as if Israel are too reliant on individual players like Sahavi and Manus Dabur, which I'm not quite sure if they're playing anymore, but even if they are, the reliance on them is unsustainable, and I don't think Israel are too good defensively. And I think Romania obtained one more point in the World Cup qualifiers, which doesn't mean much, but it's still something. And Romania were in a harder group, to their credit, so I think Romania will sneak past in second place, which is really bizarre. Israel they're really a pretty, average European, UEFA team. But they haven't qualified for a major tournament since, what is it, the 1970, 74 World Cup? It's completely insane. Went a bit on a tangent there. Let's move on to Group J. Portugal will win it. They have an amazing squad, and they are by far the best in the group. Second place, not Liechtenstein, maybe Slovakia. Don't be fooled by their low seeding. I think they're a bit better than the seeding indicates. Luxembourg, Luxembourg's rise has been really, really good, bordering on staggering, but I don't think they have what it takes to finish in second. Iceland are finished. That era between 2014-15 to 2018, maybe 19, depending on where you draw the line, is gone. So it won't be Iceland. And I even think I would not be surprised if Luxembourg actually finishes ahead of Iceland. So that leaves Bosnia as the only real contender. Slovakia are a contender too, I guess. But I think Bosnia are pretty comfortably the second best team in the group. So I think they're gonna finish in second. Yeah, there you have it. There are my qualifying predictions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe.